Hey, welcome back to 8-ish good minutes of a podcast that we do right here from Hall Financial World headquarters. That was a little much, wasn't it? But that's what you get when you
is
listen to a podcast.
it live?
Well, it's live right now.
Oh, true. That's
live
very
right
true.
now.
It's a mentality. Yeah.
KV calling me out. It's on brand. How are you? I love
Interrupting.
it.
That's
It's
me.
okay,
That's
yeah.
what I do. It's so on brand.
Tannis, how are you?
I'm great. We're having an exciting day here at Hall Financial. A lot of energy.
Yeah.
Shaking
Did a little,
and moving.
Holican Idol. Is that what we called it? Holican Idol?
Hall Financial Idol.
Hall Financial Idol?
America.
Yeah.
Hall America.
Hall America.
You know.
You were the sort of the host.
Tannis Seacrest.
Yeah, we had a great time. We'll talk more about that in another podcast. Because today we're talking about how to get your offer accepted, which is huge. And that's what the market's all about right now. KV and Tannis are right in the middle of realtor world all the time. Basically, they know they got their finger on the pulse of what's happening in the market. Mm-hmm. So talk to me, KV. The name of the game right now is getting your offer accepted because it's tough to get your offer accepted again. Yeah. Seller's market.
I feel like I hear the words low inventory more than my own name from realtors. It's really a struggle, and I know that it's not something that we can snap our fingers or even have necessarily like a high control on helping realtors with that. But we can make sure the offer that is coming through on their end is accepted, it's good, they'll get paid on time, and then same on the other end of the client that's pre-approved. We know that the client that has a pre-approval from us is they have a better shot or a more competitive shot with their offer being accepted when they do put in an offer.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing a lot of that lately, and a lot of I just heard today. I went to a closing today, and the listing agent said I wasn't really sure. Hadn't worked with Hall Financial before, and she's like, I'm gonna. Accept all your offers now whenever I see them because the process was so great.
Well, if somebody were to interview me and say, what are the top 5 things you're most proud of about your business? There's a lot of things that I think we're proud of. But I would put up in that top 5 is the fact that when realtors see a Hall Financial pre-approval, they want to accept that given all things being equal because we do a great job with that. That is something that we do, I think, really well. And so that's noteworthy.
Yeah, and it's nice going to a closing knowing that nothing's going to get messed up.
Right.
I could just go there, I'll bring a gift, it's all good.
Tannis, your thoughts on getting an offer accepted in today's market and just what you're hearing from agents and about the market?
Yeah, I mean, touching a little bit more on the pre-approval is that it's a true pre-approval with Hall Financial. It's not a pre-qualification.
Yeah.
And we're verifying all the income and documents, and so it's solid. And then, there's some other tips. I know it's something that I did as far as writing a heartfelt letter, to depending on the owner of the home or what the situation is. I looked at 64 homes when I got mine.
You counted them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a very on-brand thing for Tannis to do.
Yeah.
I was physically
Keeping
in
track,
64 homes.
Yeah.
How did you keep track? Just like on a
wrote it
notepad?
down.
Just
like
check,
this.
just check them off.
Like this.
Okay.
Check. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and
She had
it's
a little clicker on her belt.
Yeah.
That's 61.
yeah, exactly. So, I think writing a little story about my husband and I and what we were looking for, that was important for, the owner of the home. He had built it himself. So it was kind of a win in that situation. I feel like that's a little bit of a one-off, but, we have our, as we mentioned, our priority partnership. So if we have a client that needs a realtor, that's another thing that we do here at Hall Financial for our priority partners.
What about the heartfelt letter?
Yeah.
The heartfelt letter. It's people
Iconic.
swear by it. It is iconic. Yes.
Yeah, and that's what my husband and I did.
You wrote a heartfelt letter?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, our realtors.
You have a copy of it?
I might. Yeah,
I'd like to see it.
I should.
We can put it on our website.
Our realtor, who happens to be a priority partner here, he was the one who suggested it. He said, "You know what? It seems like this is a good situation to send one over." And we just, talked about what our situation was and why we were a good fit for the home. And he was like, that was it. That was it for me.
Okay.
I wanted to know that, my 20 years in this home, someone else was going to get that same experience. So
Right.
it really depends.
Okay.
I feel like that's what, back when I started in the industry, a long time ago.
Believe me, it seems like it.
Back when I started in the industry, long time ago. That's something that was interesting to me, that I always thought it was like, you know, the most amount of money was going to win the home. And it's amazing how that's not always the case. And especially now, people, I think, value, just like they value anything being fast. Like, I mean, I get mad if it's more than 2 days shipping.
Yeah.
Like now it's more about the speed and convenience and the availability and all of that, more than just the dollar amount of going into the offer. Not to say that's not important. That's for sure important.
Yeah,
but-
and I think it's important. Let's name off some of those X factors. Just off the top of my head, is you've got, you know, somebody who's putting cash down versus 50% down versus 20% down versus maybe a zero down MISHTA type loan. Those are all different kind of offers. And then you've got time frames, and do they have a contingency? And so, yeah, somebody who's selling a $250,000 house, the difference between 248 and 251, I mean, you want the best price, but there's other stuff that needs to be considered. That's why the real estate professionals are looking out for their clients' best interest, and they have to say sometimes, like, hey, we're going to get $2,000 less, but it's going to close in 14 days, and you're going to be done, and it's going to be so worth it.
We heard it earlier today.
What?
We had one of our realtor partners who said, I'm sending it to Hall because we need this closed in 12 days.
Yeah.
Challenge accepted.
There
Let's
you
go.
go. I like that. And then 5-star reviews, I think, also is a huge piece of how you decide, because I think that, you know, a company that somebody's never heard of or maybe doesn't have the best reputation versus somebody who has nearly 6,000 5-star reviews, there's a reason that you've got those reviews. And I think the stats are, you know, 97% of people or some crazy number look at 5-star reviews before they make certain types of purchases. Like, it's a big number, and it's become
I
a
look
big
at reviews
thing.
for anything.
Anything.
Everything.
So, by the way, on that, I know we're on a tangent, but like if you go somewhere and they have all good reviews, but they have very few, is that a concern?
It depends on when they were, kind of. It depends on when they were posted.
Right.
Because if it was a newer restaurant, then obviously they're not
Okay,
going to
yeah,
have
but I mean
as
the bu-
many. And it also depends on what kind of place it is. I feel like a restaurant that is like, I don't know, like kind of a faster thing. Like people might not be as emotionally tied
Right.
to it, so they're not going to leave as many reviews. But
Right.
I might take the risk if they're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to getting your offer accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're not talking about me anymore? Oh.
Tough transition sometimes. And then, you know, the other thing I think that's interesting that agents do within, you know, one another when they're negotiating is, you know, they're bringing up different points besides price, you know, and some of these points we've laid out, but I think it's really important that, you know, a buyer and a seller realize that whether it's like, hey, we really want this home and we're going to put a lot of emotion into a letter and everything else to kind of stack up your offer, the main thing has to do with how solid does your loan look? Because 90-some% of people are getting a loan, and the more solid that your loan looks to the listing agent or the seller, obviously a better chance for you to get your offer accepted.
And I think working
I
with
think
the
that's
right,
number one.
Yeah, and I think we've kind of said it without saying it, is just working with the right people. I think your realtor and your home loan advisor and the company that they work for needs to be like, you know, tight. They
Yeah.
need to be communicating with each other. It's not separate. It's not everyone all over the place. It's people working together. So I think that's kind of what we're all saying. But I think that's really the other piece that's really important too. You need people advocating for you, not just like slapping a piece of paper. Not slapping down
like
a piece of paper. I get in trouble if I slap the table.
Not discombobulated. Not
Yes.
discombobulated.
Yeah.
Because some transactions are just discombobulated. You want them to be harmonious.
Good word.
Yeah, it's a good word. Well, that's 8 good minutes, believe it or not. Can you believe it? It just flies.
I could be here all day.
Isn't it amazing?
Amazing.
Well, what we'll do is we'll just turn this one off, and then we'll record some new stuff.
Let's go.
Amazing.
You got some topics? KV, thank you.
Thank you.
Tanis, thank you.
Always a pleasure.
Benny, always doing a great job. For 8 good minutes, we'll see you next time.